So we're doing 6 Japanese beers today. 3, you wouldn't call them domestics, but normally they would be called domestics, I guess.
Maybe.
We have 3 crafts from Kowedo Brewery that we sell at the bar.
Yeah.
We have 3,
Of the most popular American Japanese beers.
yeah. These are all Japanese beers. Most are brewed with wheat and rice. I'm going to steal the Kirin Ichiban to start out. So Kirin Ichiban is what we're starting with tonight. Pretty flavorful beer. Because I'm completely failing at the words,
So you have your craft beer at the end.
craft beer at the
Okay,
end,
yeah.
all from Kowedo Brewery, which Kowedo I think is out of Kyoto. Let me see. Are they out of Kyoto? Oh, okay, they're out of Saitama. So if you go to a Japanese restaurant, standard sushi place, you will almost certainly see this first one there, Kirin. So Kirin I find a little sweeter. So start with a sniff to try and get the nose on the beer. Kind of an effervescent, lighter. Like I wouldn't necessarily call it like a Bud Light almost. It's definitely like I like all of these beers. Like this is not going to be overtly challenging. You could think of this maybe like, what would you say, like a Heineken maybe?
Yeah, maybe
Maybe-
step up from Budweiser.
Yeah, it's definitely, I wouldn't say it's better than Budweiser.
Comes out of the same brewery in the U.S.
Oh, okay.
It
So
Definitely has like a
Anheuser-Busch
sweet note to it.
brews this in domestically. Okay, so let's try it. Yeah, very clean. Very easy drinking. You can see yourself popping back a couple of these. Not very challenging. Like type of thing that you could drink pretty much all night, feel fine with. So Kirin First Press. Do you know anything about First Press?
Really should have done my homework.
Oh my
Tom,
goodness.
you're the beer guy.
I'm the beer guy. I'm trying my
Tom's the
best.
beer guy at the bar.
Yeah, I
Looks like-
try my best. Good mouthfeel. I mean,
Yeah.
like, if you go to Nakama and you want a regular ass beer, something you would taste that's not necessarily Americanized, but tastes like the type of beer you would have, like, Kirin's pretty safe to go with. So we'll put this as our first beer as a strong number 1.
Are we tier listing also?
Yeah.
Which one was it?
So
I think I'm at a B.
B is where
For
I was
Kirin?
gonna land with this too. So at
You
the
said B?
B is what we said. So what other beers do you have at the bar that are not Japanese?
We don't carry a lot of domestic because our idea is we're Japanese. We're
Mhm.
sake based. So we do have some domestic. I really enjoy High Life. So we have High Life, Ultra. We now have Corona, Heineken, and then we carry a lot of craft beer. So we'll rotate in some cool craft beer.
Okay.
sometimes.
So maybe one of the things we could do is try like the other non-American beers next time.
Yeah.
Because there are a couple like uh,
Yeah,
Chang.
Yeah.
Chang's Thai.
Chang is yeah.
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So that's pretty
Singha
good.
also.
Singha.
Yeah.
Singha's a decent beer. Okay. So we're moving on to Asahi Super Dry. So Asahi, if I'm drinking something and I'm not drinking craft, I'll usually go with Asahi. This is probably my favorite of the again, domestic is sort of the wrong word to use for imported beer, but like this is sort of my favorite of the domestic. So it's dry style beer was big in the 80s, where when they were trying to market beer a little differently, like they had light beer, they had I mean, there's always Bud Light and Bud Heavy. Dry beer was a smoother finish. So unlike craft these days, where you get a lot of IPAs and things that are pretty bitter and things like that, they tried to avoid the bitterness of beer originally. So the drier beers are a little more bitter, but very smooth, very clean still. Again, with these noses, it's not really going to, the nose isn't going to be too important until we get to the craft. But yeah, Asahi comes in bottles and cans.
It feels almost weaker than the last one for the nose.
So it's a little. I think it's cleaner
I do
than.
immediately like it better.
Yeah.
More unique taste than most other beers.
Yeah. Very smooth, very clean. A little sweet, a little bit sweetness on the back end. Usually this is what I'll order. Like so, Asahi, good drinking beer. A little more different than domestic that you'd see. Like I approach it like maybe if you're the type of person who's like, I don't want to order a Coors Light or a Bud Light. I want to order like a Heineken or maybe it's a little more adventurous than what you'd have in a standard beer. Put the Ichiban as like the most American beer that we'll have tonight.
So, yeah.
But the Asahi definitely is a little different. So let's rate the Asahi. What are you thinking with this? Because
Start us off, Alex.
I definitely like it a little more, I think, than the Kirin.
Okay.
100%
I'm
agree.
not sure if it's quite an A, but
I'm like the A minus.
so maybe just put it in front of the Kirin for now.
So I would go with an A with this. I think this is
Hey, so put in the A.
Alright.
so
We'll go
yeah.
ahead and-
Yeah, I would go with an A. The Asahi right now is leading the pack. All right, Sapporo. Sapporo's probably the most popular
It is our
Japanese
most
beer.
popular.
Most popular beer at the bar as well.
We can truly say we sell more Sapporo than any other bar or restaurant in Jacksonville, which is crazy.
Mhm.
And that's what our rep has told us.
So Sapporo is
I feel like I'm gonna have a hot take on it, but
okay.
You'll get
No,
it.
Sapporo's
I'm
always find Sapporo a little sweeter, a little more carbonated. So there are 3 ways Sapporo comes at Nakama. There is 22 ounce, a big boy can,
Big can, and a small can and bottle.
and that
And we're $6.50 for the big can, so it's a pretty good deal.
yeah, that's pretty easy. You can go in there.
Pretty much 2 beers.
Yeah,
for-
a little under 2 beers. I mean, 22 ounces. So let me put the Sapporo right here. All right. So Sapporo, I have trouble drinking just because it's a little too carbonated for me. Not as sweet as the Asahi. It's still a little bit sweeter than what I would say is like you can taste the maltiness of it. Yeah, very carbonated, like I said, compared to other beers.
I'm a little
I
bit more
like-
biased towards this beer.
Pretty easy drinking. So this is your favorite of the
This
3?
is my favorite of the 3. This is my go-to sake bomb beer when I
Uh-huh.
suggest it to people. It pairs really well. Dropping that sake in there.
Uh-huh,
shooting it.
uh-huh. Okay,
Combination.
so question. Are you cold sake or are you a maniac like me and hot sake for a sake
So-
bomb?
When I introduce people, I give them the cold sake, but I like the hot sake.
Hell yeah. Cheers.
I can't remember, but I think I like the hot sake.
Okay, well, I try and push for the hot sake because sake, when you drink it, if it's cold, like it's enjoyable, definitely, like lower flavor profile. But with the house, when you heat it up, like the nose opens up a lot more on it. It's a really, and drinking hot like rice wine or just hot anything, like you don't usually run into hot alcohol most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, not today, obviously, because it was like 100 freaking degrees
Yeah.
outside today. But on those cold January, like February months, where it's been raining a little bit and it's just overcast, and you come in a hoodie and you just hot sake, yeah, that's the way to go.
Is the Ika salad this sounds random, but
Squid salad.
squid salad, what's the seaweed salad? The seaweed salad. So the wakame salad, I'll say, don't eat that with a Sapporo because it makes the Sapporo taste fishy.
Okay.
It's kind of a random, like,
I would say
Note,
the same for a lot of those.
but it's
beers,
probably
too.
same.
Yeah, seaweed seems like,
It's not a great pairing with beer. Apparently.
yeah. Yeah.
I found that out the hard way.
Fair. Okay.
But when you eat other things like fish or
Mhm.
sushi or anything, it opens it up where it's
Yeah,
better
yeah.
with the beer.
Mhm.
But if you're
Yeah.
just going, seaweed salad and beer,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting to pair different alcohols with food. So, Sapporo.
I'm biased towards
I
it.
know you're biased towards it. Alec, you said he had a hot take.
It was kind of in with what I was talking about. The,
Okay.
seaweed.
Yeah, that's
So,
not
like,
necessarily a
It
hot
kind
take.
of like screwed my opinion
You know what?
on it a little bit. So like it made it go down, but
What
it's
is your-
really not.
What
bad.
is your liquor that has been ruined for you? Okay. It's funny. I was out at an establishment. I ran into your head bartender, and it was a long day. And she's like, "Tom, I'll buy you a shot." And I was like, "All right." I shoot the worst stuff imaginable. And she's like, "What are you shooting?" And I was like, "I shoot Jaeger." So
Yeah.
I took a Jaeger shot the other night, and it was just like, ugh. It was
Those early days of drinking. Jaeger
So,
was,
for me,
it's a rough time.
rum.
Yeah.
Rum, just with the sweetness of it. Like, I was never a huge fan of coconut before, really. But the worst drinking experience I ever had was on coconut rum. That Parrot Bay. And, oh my
How
god.
do you do with smelling it?
Smell I can handle. Smell I can handle. But, like, everybody, if you're into drinking, you have an alcohol that doesn't agree with you. And rum, between the sweetness, like, it just sneaks up on you. Oh, God. And it's just, like, I think 2 of the 3 worst hangovers I've ever had were off of rum. Like, with beer, I'm okay. Don't really drink that much wine, but I can be okay with wine. Sake, like, if you are worried about hangovers, and this is a drinking stream, so there should be no kids in the audience. But if you're worried about hangovers, sake is the easiest hangover you will ever have because it's a liquor made without any sulfates.
Yep. This is 100% true statement as long as you don't mix it.
Yeah.
Of course,
Now
if you mix it.
Now that doesn't mean that you don't get a hangover. It just means that, or you can't get a hangover. It just means that it's better.
You really don't get a hangover, honestly. If you don't mix it, you just drink
Yeah.
sake.
Yeah.
It's pretty
I know,
true.
like, I get that it's probably pretty true, but it's like, I can't imagine you not being able to get a hangover. Like, period.
You don't feel as bad.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
That's what I think.
you're
Like,
still gonna
you-
get the effects of getting drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I've
If you don't
definitely.
drink water.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. I've definitely like thrown up having too much sake before, but like, don't have the headache afterwards.
Yeah, that's a big one. Headaches in
Yeah.
the morning.
Yeah, the headaches in the morning is usually the worst part of a hangover. But in general, like, I don't drink to the point where a hangover is all that, like, going to happen most of the time, even tonight.
Yeah,
But yeah,
you get to a certain age, you realize, oh, I don't want to hang out.
yeah, yeah. Like, how old are you, Alec?
29.
Okay. So you're the baby of us.
But I'm still old enough to know not to drink too much.
Old enough. Like, yeah, like, I used to be capable of having, like, several beers, and as this year, next week I turned 40. I just, like, hit a wall now. It's
You
like,
look great, by the way.
oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. I need to lose some weight, but, beyond that. Yeah, like, the max number of beers, I was like, I'm okay if I have this number of beers, and that number has dropped. Yeah.
I don't know. I remember a few months back, maybe quite a bit months back, we did that Century Club and the lock-in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were drinking under the table.
Oh
there.
no, that was not true at all. That didn't happen at all. So, do you want to get into story? Well, let's rate the Sapporo and keep
Okay.
going. Okay, so Sapporo, I'm guessing you would be an A.
Let's go B. Let's be
I
fair.
think like I like it more than the Kirin,
Yeah.
but
I think that's fair.
yeah, I
Okay,
would go
Between
B.
the two.
Yeah.
That's what I was kind
All
of
right. So
thinking.
tell us the story
Okay.
of the Century Club
So-
lock-in night.
Century Club.
the
I don't know
regular
if
club.
I.
Okay.
I don't think I was there for that.
Nope, you sure
Do you
weren't.
know what Century Club is?
I have no idea.
Okay. So the idea behind a Century Club
Okay.
was you take a shot of beer,
1 ounce.
1 ounce of beer,
Mm.
every minute for 100 minutes
Exactly on the minute.
on the minute. And I was like, Century Club, no, we can't do a Century Club. Let's do a power hour,
Yeah.
which is
Okay, so we did Power Hour. Yeah.
power hour is 60 shots of beer in 60 minutes. Same concept, just less drinking.
Yeah.
So
60 ounces of beer in an hour.
we have some regulars that came in for this, and Sean
I'm
was
bad at
very
math. Is that a lot?
That's
yes.
more than
It's,
6 beers. That's
so
beer.
so a
Oh,
can
yeah.
of beer is 12 ounces,
Hmm.
so that's 5 beers in 1 hour.
Okay.
Again, we were using Sapporo, so the carbonation was like insane. But this jerk right here was like, we get there and we're like, okay, we're gonna do this power hour, and it'll be fun. We'll hang out and play Mario Kart and play like Jackbox,
Yeah.
and we'll just hang out and that'll be great. And he's like, okay, Beer Olympics. So
we did Beer Olympics before the Power Hour.
yeah,
Okay,
so
so
Sean wanted us.
Beer Olympics and
So-
It
power.
was so fun.
It was
Beer
fun,
Olympics
but
was a lot of fun.
it should have been one or the other. So
Yeah.
we ended up
Beer Olympics.
drinking like
We'll have to watch the
drinking
next
and
one.
finishing with the power hour. We made it nowhere close to finishing the power hour. We made it like 15, 20 minutes
Yeah,
into the
people
power
were
hour.
definitely fun.
I threw up.
There
Sean
were many others.
Sean very discreetly threw up and cleaned the bathroom afterwards so he wouldn't get in trouble with his wife.
1,800 milliliters. Big Pimp says.
Okay. Yeah.
What's up, Big Pimp?
Hey, Big Pimp.
So
So this is streaming right now on Twitch, but we're also going to put this on the YouTube video.
yeah.
Okay.
On the YouTubes.
So let's move into our Kuwaitos. So we will go
Switching over to the craft beer by Kuwait.
craft beer by Kuwaito Brewery. So we went
So
Asahi 1,
yeah,
Sapporo 2,
yeah.
and Kirin Ichiban 3. Alright, get the
He's
good
got it.
visual on this. Okay,
I can't imagine any of those not being better than the last 3 we just had.
so the thing is that with craft breweries, like the palate expands.
Mhm.
Like, so this is me being beer snobby for a second. So, okay.
Yeah.
So, like, the flavor profiles get significantly wider. And we're going to actually
Before we
switch
start
this
with the-
around
I'm
because
gonna check this camera real quick.
Okay,
and see
yeah.
if it-
Well, we do have one Pilsner. Should we start with the Pilsner?
let's start with the Pilsner
Okay.
because the Pilsner is much more approachable. So I'm going to switch this
Pilsner.
around. We'll put red
Yeah,
at the
I
end.
think we did lose it for a minute. But
Okay,
that'll be
that's all right. We still have the stream. So, Pilsner.
Stream lagging. It's fine now.
Pilsner. What do you know about Pilsners?
Nice.
Okay, Pilsners are generally
Are they a little bit malty? Or...
little malty. Not exactly like. The first thing I want you to take advantage of is like the nose on this. Compare it to how it smells versus. Okay, a little less. Compare it to how it smells versus the other ones that we've had so far. So it's much more floral. Pilsner is still pretty approachable style. Like most domestics, if you were to put them under a style, would be a Pilsner. So this, usually they'll also say the percentages. Like your average beer is 5%. This Pilsner is, where is the, So this is Ruri. So it lists the hops on here. The Aurora hops, Strian hops, and Golding Bowback hops.
Sun showers. Sick tap.
I didn't know you had tattoos.
You're the only one.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Kampai.
So Pilsners are relatively easy drinking. They're one of the most approachable styles.
Which one is this?
This is the blue. Like, as far as like beer, like Pilsners are not that different. I usually don't drink Pilsners that often. Just because like I'm one of those hop assholes who like loves to be salted when I'm drinking something. They want
Like
to,
an IPA.
like an IPA. So IPAs are sours also. Lambics.
I'm not a huge sour guy, but I like
Okay.
an IPA. Like
Yeah.
a hazy or a juicy IPA.
Yeah, and that's that. Like IPAs have moved. So the West Coast IPA was this very, very bitter, hop forward, and they've moved more towards New England IPAs, which are hazies
Okay.
and juicier IPAs. And I prefer the really hop forward stuff.
So you prefer the West Coast?
Yeah, I
one?
prefer
Okay.
West Coast IPA. So like, but a lot of places have moved towards New
Mhm.
England IPAs and the hazies.
Did your tat hurt? How'd you do?
Of course it
It
did,
was-
but that was 3 different settings. Yeah.
Uh-huh. How long were you in the chair for?
Let's see.
All together, maybe 20 hours. Does that sound right? So,
Okay,
Super-
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know if that one was like, because I know there's one with sweet potato in it.
Yeah,
I didn't know
so
if it had,
the
like,
sweet potato I'm saving for last because that'll be the
What
most
did-
different.
What did that? Does that one have anything like it's
Pilsners,
made from?
not particularly. Pilsners are just relatively standard style.
Okay.
Like if you, so the Kuwaitos cost a little bit more because they are imported from Japan and they are a bit more expensive drink just in general. Like I'm just not a huge fan of Pilsners in as a style in general. It's a good beer, but it's also something that like I don't mind. Like is not going to be the first thing I have Pilsners for other people. For people who are like, Tom, get me a beer. Like my fridge is always full of beers. Well, these days with more non-alcoholic beers than you would think. But still, I try and keep beers in my house for people who enjoy drinking. I've also added some other drinks.
Thank you for
Neutrals.
keeping us updated
Yeah.
on the stream. Big Pimp. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank
shout
you.
out Big Pimp.
Shout out Big Pimp. All right, so where do you feel with the Pilsner?
So compared to the other beers, just because it's a craft beer, I didn't want to rank it higher just because it's craft beer, but it really is a better, more thought out.
Okay, because
Unfortunate.
Has great aftertaste.
yeah, easy drinking,
easy
not as
drinking,
carbonated.
yeah.
Like I would probably like if I had my druthers, I would put this at a B.
Yeah.
Like I prefer Asahi over this, but that's just because it's a style clarification.
Yeah,
But I could see you
so-
going higher to
Yeah.
that.
I'm kind of similar. I would put it. It's probably between the A and B, but if I put it A, or
What
yeah,
did you,
I was thinking it was better than Aussie, but
okay,
not,
so
but not
yeah,
not more than an
If
A.
Like-
we're going taste, yes, the Cueto Pilsner's way better.
yeah.
If we're going drinkability, that was so approachable.
Yeah.
It
Well,
really
the thing is that like with craft breweries, like unfortunately, so there's a bar in Jacksonville that's just about to close that I absolutely love.
Yeah, pretty sad.
Yeah, but I mean that's Riverside for you these days. So I started like my education in beer at this bar called Alewife in downtown Riverside, 5 Points in Jacksonville.
Yep.
and I like. There are various reasons to go to a bar when you reach the age I do. It's to meet up with friends, have some drinks, unwind after a long day. And Alewife is the only place I would go to like broaden my horizons.
Yeah, I see that.
So I compare it to like going to a whiskey bar or going to a wine bar maybe to see what you like and see like how things are
They
different.
always have something new. They always rotating something.
Yeah, so it's sad to see them go. And I think I'm heading there tomorrow. I think it's made look like this is
They've been
maybe
there for a while, right? They've been
Where
a
was
staple
that
in
they were. It was across the street from Sunrise Cinema. But they chose not to renew their lease after 10 years.
Okay.
So this is like, I don't think this is their last week. I think next week is their last week. But I figured I'd head over there. Great place. But it's also 30 minutes, and you don't necessarily want to be driving that much when you're drinking.
Sunray's also going.
Sunray's gone. Yeah,
Dang.
a very sad situation. A little bitter
I never
over
used
that.
my free movie pass. I had a free movie pass and I never used it.
I had a lifetime pass to Sunray.
Oh,
So
Nice.
it would be me and I think 4 other people could get in with a large popcorn and a beer.
nice.
So it was like we went once.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it was a good time. Again, it's just that after a while the drive
Yeah.
was significant. So I'm
Mhm.
sad to see it go, but I definitely did not make it there as often as I wanted to in the last couple of years. But yeah, okay. So we're thinking A with this.
Yeah, I think so.
Team deserved the
All right.
I wouldn't be.
The blue.
Okay. No, I think A is fine for it.
Okay.
Put it right behind us.
Okay. So now we're moving into a style that I know a lot more about. We're moving into Kawaito's. This is called the Shiro. This is the white bottle. Shiro, Japanese for white. This is a Hefeweizen. Have you ever had a Hefeweizen before?
I have had that one. I don't know about.
I have as well, and I've had this beer before.
Okay, well that makes sense.
Yes.
Hefeweizens. Like not necessarily the first thing you think of when you're drinking, but everybody says Hefeweizens has a banana taste to it.
If we I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So like I was saying, Hefeweizens kind of a banana aftertaste to it.
Mhm.
Definitely a more complicated flavor. Pretty sure it's a German flavor. Like you'll see a lot of Hefeweizen styles. I'm trying to think of like things you would see that would be
I definitely
Hefeweizen. But-
smell like a little bit of banana.
yeah, and it's a sweeter beer. Different aftertaste on it though. This is definitely the most distinct of the beers that we've had so far.
It's a very banana to me.
Yeah,
Personally.
yeah. Like if you like banana bread,
think-
Hefeweizens are an interesting beer to have.
I think Big Pimp would like this one. He likes Hefeweizens a lot.
Okay. So what Hefeweizens does he like drinking? If you could toss out some.
Yeah, if you're still there, Big Pimp, let us know what Hefeweizens you. I forget the ones that you've had.
Okay, do we know Big Pimp?
I know him personally.
Oh, okay.
But
All right.
that's not his real name, just so you know.
How does this compare to some of your favorites, Tom?
Hefeweizen is a style that when I get a hair up my ass, I'll
Hefeweizen.
have.
Weinstefaner.
Okay, I don't know it, unfortunately.
Not my favorite style of beer, but it's really good, and I see why people enjoy it
Yeah.
and like it.
It's definitely the most different of the beers we had. But also, because it is different, I could see it being off-putting. Hefeweizen is definitely something that you want to go into. You don't want to necessarily buy a 6-pack before you've tried the style. It's definitely something you want to maybe try a flight of first at a beer that at a bar that would have flights, for example. taster, a sampler, or just get one before you jump into a 6-pack, because it is very, very different than what you would be used to for a domestic palate. All right.
I'd pick up a 6-pack of anything without hesitation.
Oh, okay.
But I'm a weirdo.
So I'm bad because I didn't drink in college at all, and I didn't drink in high school at all, and I moved in with a guy who was a super beer snob, and I started drinking with him, so I was immediately a snob. So it was
There you go.
so I never had my Mick Ultra days. I never had my what I would do is I would go to roller derby and have a Pabst Blue Ribbon.
No natty daddies.
No natty daddies. Yeah. So I am a super beer snob when it comes to stuff, and I understand that. I do think the best beer you can possibly have is a free beer, and the next best beer you can have after that is an ice cold free beer. But I have definitely been a
Ice cold free now.
Yep, I have definitely been an asshole and been like, I don't want to drink that. I don't want to drink that at all. All right, so where are we feeling with the Hefeweizen, with the Shiro?
I'd still put it as an A. I do like it a little more than the rest of what we've had.
Okay.
It deserves to be up there, but personal preference.
Okay.
It's not my favorite style of beer.
Yeah.
So it would be lower on my list, personally. But it deserves to
Like,
Okay.
flavors.
compared to what we've done tonight, I would put it at an A. But in
So you're thinking
in my vacuum of beers, you wanted the Pilsner better?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
do you think it's
I'm open to whatever you guys see also.
Usually with Hefeweizens, I'm more I have to be in the right mood for a Hefeweizen.
okay?
But yeah, I could see that.
For now, let's leave it here.
Okay.
At the end, we might make some adjustments.
All right, that's fine. All right, so definitely our weirdest beer tonight, the Beniaka, which is a ale brewed with sweet potato. So if I'm splurging, I will get one of these.
Oh, yeah.
So
One of my favorite things there.
So we are officially into pumpkin beer season, which I love that pumpkin beers have become sort of a seasonal thing, the same way we've got pumpkin spice lattes. And I'm going to pour a lot of this. Alec, how much you want?
As much as you have.
Okay.
Love the color on this beer.
Yeah.
It is nice. Ooh.
Oh,
It's
danger
good.
pour!
It's all good.
All right.
It survived.
Okay. Give you just a taste of it. All right. But so the thing about pumpkin beer is that a lot of times pumpkin is in there, but it's not necessarily pumpkin that you're drinking. It's more of the spice that you're drinking. Like so,
pumpkin spice rather than the actual pumpkin.
Well, here's the thing about pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice lattes used to be made just with pumpkin spice, and then they added things to it. So the current flavor, what a pumpkin spice latte is not so much pumpkin anymore. It's more like cinnamon and all sorts of different things. Yeah, fall spices.
Well, pumpkin spice doesn't have pumpkin in it, right? Or
What's what he was saying originally?
yeah.
Yeah, originally, the pumpkin spice things were made with pumpkin.
Okay.
But now, people were saying the taste it didn't taste like pumpkin spice, whatever that means.
Well, it means the spice that they a pumpkin, they make pumpkin spice, which is just a group of spices that don't have pumpkin in it, but you put it maybe in a pumpkin pie, right?
Yeah. So, okay, Kapai.
So, off the pumpkin, this is the sweet potato.
So this is sweet potato. Yeah,
Through.
it's definitely
You taste it. You taste the skin of
like,
the sweet potato.
yep, definitely has like a brown sugar type
that
mouthfeel to
yummy
it.
That you get.
Yeah. So a lot of pumpkin beers are also yam beers. So this is the closest thing to a pumpkin beer that you could see at Nakama. Definitely a seasonal thing, but you stock it year round.
You say caramel or caramel?
I'd say caramel.
Caramel.
A lot of
Caramel.
Yeah.
thick, rich.
Now here's the thing.
carameliness.
Caramel is what is what a lot of people say.
Mm-hmm.
I say caramel. But I call the candy bar a caramello.
Well, there is a candy bar called a. Oh wait.
No, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I don't call it a caramello. I call it a caramello. But I
Huh.
usually go caramel with my thing.
Interesting.
Okay, so I said we'd get back to it. Let's talk Nakama Con. So what are the dates for it?
November 9th and 10th.
Okay, and
Fast approaching.
fast approaching. We are in October, so we are almost less than a month away from it.
Oh yeah.
So where is it located?
It's gonna be around the corner from the bar and the cafe. It's literally a minute away.
Mm-hmm.
The Holiday Inn. Just from the bar.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on at the convention.
So we do have a big name. Celeste Perez is joining us this year. Last year we had Jonathan Todd Ross. Celeste Perez is newer to the voice actor scene. I think she started maybe a few years back, but she's already got some big names, some titles underneath her. So we're excited about that.
Mm-hmm. So she's in One Piece, for example. Current arc of One Piece, like with the current dubs, she's doing dub work in One Piece as part of. Like I've fallen off of One Piece a little bit. I'm like stuck on Whole Cake Island, but she's part of.
She's got some other like lead roles for some new anime, and she's got a lot of other titles underneath her in the short period of time. So I'm really excited. For that.
She played Rudeus in the early parts of Mukoshi Tensei, or however you say that show, Jobless Reincarnation.
Yep.
So very cool guest. Definitely like a great second year guest.
Oh yeah.
So let's talk about some of the other things that are going to be at Nakama Con.
So we're gonna run our panels like we did last year.
Mhm.
So that'll take place on both days. We'll have a lot of gaming. This year we have a different the company that does our Tuesdays. They'll be hosting gaming tournaments there. We have our Pokemon league. A lot of the guys some of the guys from the league that we sponsor, they run a podcast. So they're going to be there and they're going to run our Elite Four. And if you play Pokemon TCG, come out, play against some of the best people in Jacksonville. You can win a booster box.
Yeah.
4 of them. We have an anime fashion show this year, so we didn't do that last year. That's exciting.
Nice.
So you're going to have a full-on cosplay competition?
Cosplay competition as well.
Okay, so
from this.
separate than the
This
fashion
is like
show. That's cool.
streetwear fashion
Oh,
show.
cool.
That's
Okay.
cosplay.
Okay.
And then we'll have the cosplay competition. as
All
well.
right.
Nice.
Let's see. We have photography, and we have close to 40 vendors that'll be there. This year, Wait For It podcast is going to host for us. They'll do the Q&A with the Celeste Perez, and they'll run other events as well on the main stage.
All right.
A lot going on. So
Yep.
so much more not mentioned is happening
Yep.
this year.
I know I'm definitely putting together at least 2, maybe 3 panels and probably trivia
Oh, yeah.
for the convention. So you can come out, get a taste of trivia.
One more time on the con. So tickets are on sale
Okay,
now.
yep.
Eventbrite. Link is in our bio
Okay.
on any of our social media Instagram pages. So grab your tickets now, whether cheap.
Sorry, I should have been a better host with that. Okay, crushing it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Whoopsies.
Do you need a refill?
I don't know.
Just a taste?
Just another little taste.
Just a little taste.
So if you like amber like Shiner Bock, Amber Bock beer. This is, I think,
Yeah.
next level from that stuff. It's pretty good.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about Halloween, and then we'll wrap up.
So we're going to have a Halloween rave. We're calling it Rave to the Grave. That's happening Saturday before Halloween. So come in Halloween costumes, come in your favorite cosplay. We'll have a really good time that night.
Okay. Cool.
And then Halloween week, full of Halloween festivities. The whole bar is going to be completely decked out and themed and decorated. Halloween night is our Halloween cosplay party. That's going to be a big night for us.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Super excited about that. It was really fun last year.
Now, are we doing the trunk or treat again?
We may do that Monday before Halloween.
Okay.
So, we'll put posts out.
Nice. Okay. So where are we going
Alex
with the
just
Toledo?
to chip off the old block.
What's your thought on this, Alex? Oh, chip off the old block.
So, personally, for this one, I could interchange. Like this one, for me, was my top one,
Number one.
Interesting.
and I could flip flop between these two.
I see that.
Okay.
But I like this one the most. But what do y'all think?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I mean, like, if
If you're not ready for bitter, like you get used to it for a sec, and then then you get the under notes that
like, if you want to do an S with this would definitely be my volunteering for an S.
What do you think?
But if you want to keep it an A,
A?
I'm totally okay with that too.
Okay.
I think it's the best of the
I'm
six
thinking-
beers that we had, but
When I first tried it, I would have given it an S, like months ago, whenever it was. But I'd put it at a high A.
okay. Well, it's very, very different.
Yeah.
It's like, it's definitely the most different of all the beers you have. So yeah, like I'm a fan of it though. So let's do our final ranking. So are we okay with the Kirin as our sixth beer?
I think I can live with Kieran being, and none of these beers are bad anyway.
No,
but
I mean our lowest rating years of
Kieran-
B.
Yeah, Kieran at the end, I can agree with that.
We're going A with this, I thought.
Yeah, I'm just moving them down.
Okay. Alright, first fight. Sapporo versus Asahi. Where do you put these?
Let's go to the Asahi up a little.
Okay, so Sapporo 5.
Are you good with 405, Alex?
Yes.
Okay, so Asahi, do we want to put it in front of any of the Koedos? Like you,
So
I,
approachable.
I could make a case that
It could be first if you're
I-
looking for approachable
if you're
beer.
looking for approachable beer, like definitely first. Like, all right, I'll be honest with you. Pilsner is like one of my least favorite styles, so I wouldn't mind putting it over the Pilsner.
Okay.
And if we're going to do this, I would at least do this.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I could be talked into doing
I
this.
think I'm good with that.
I think I agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Pilsner, very approachable. Like, Pilsner's, the Koedo Pilsner, the brewery is very approachable, very good beer. It's just, I'm not a Pilsner fan. Okay.
I'm good with it the way it is.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
I think that's pretty representative of what we got.
Mhm.